Hello and welcome to Rouse IAS. This is the daily films practice initiative wherein we discuss important MCQs from the Hindu and Indian Express. The topics for today's discussion are mentioned over your screen. So let's begin our session. The first MCQ for today is based on this particular article which appeared on the page number 13 of the Hindu. So recently, Financial Bill 2023 has been approved by both the houses of Parliament. Now for the UPSC point of view, you must be aware of various procedures of the Parliament and various bills. In the year 2018, we found a question on money bill. And as we all know that money bill is also a kind of finance bill. So let us solve our first practice question which states that consider the following statements regarding money bill. Statement 1. Article 1010 of the Constitution deals with the definition of money bill. This is a correct statement as Article 1010 of the Constitution deals with money bill. Statement 2. A bill containing provision related to the imposition, abolition, remission, alteration or regulation of any tax by any local authority or body for local purposes automatically becomes a money bill. Now this is an incorrect statement as money bill does not contain these provisions. Statement 3. Government is required to table a money bill for the appropriation of money out of the contingency fund of India. This is also an incorrect statement. This is because a government is required to table money bill for appropriation of money out of the consolidated fund of India, not from the contingency fund. Now, as per Article 1010 of the Constitution, a money bill can only contain the provisions dealing with some particular issues. These are taxation, that is imposition, abolition, remission, alteration or regulation of any tax. But it does not contain the provision of such taxation by any local authority. A money bill also deals with the borrowing of money by the government. It also deals with the custody of Consolidated Fund of India or the Contingency Fund of India. It also deals with appropriation of money out of the Consolidated Fund of India. Now as the question asked, which of the following statements are incorrect? So the correct answer for our question would be option C. And the correct answer to our UPSC PYQ is option C. So the next practice question for today is based on this particular article which appeared on the page number 18 of Indian Express. The disqualification of members of parliament is a prime topic of debate these days. So on this issue, we have framed our next practice question. This is important as you must know about various provisions of the constitution and also the tenets of parliamentary democracy. In the year 2019, we found a question on Parliament Prevention of Disqualification Act 1959. Now let us solve our practice question which states that consider the following statements with reference to the disqualification of a member of parliament. Statement 1. Article 102 of the Indian Constitution authorizes the parliament to make laws determining conditions for disqualifications. Now this is a correct statement. So in the Article 102 of Indian Constitution, there are provisions for disqualification of the members of either house of parliament. So as per this article, a person shall be disqualified from contesting elections or being a member of parliament under certain conditions, which includes if he holds the office of profit under the union or state government, if he has unsound mind, or he is an undischarged insolvent, if he is not a citizen of India or voluntarily acquired the citizenship of any foreign state. Also, if he is disqualified under any law made by the parliament. Now, this Article 102 also authorizes Parliament to make laws determining the conditions of disqualifications. So for this purpose, the Parliament has enacted Representation of People Act. Statement 2. Under Section 8, Clause 4 of the Representation of People Act 1951, legislators can avoid immediate disqualification. Now this is an incorrect statement. So as per the Representation of People Act 1951, a person will be disqualified if convicted and sentenced to imprisonment for 2 years or more. Now, under the Section 8, Clause 4 of Representation of People Act, earlier, the legislators could avoid immediate disqualification until the year 2013. That is, if any legislator was convicted, they could appeal against their conviction or that sentence in the higher courts, that is High Court or Supreme Court, within 3 months of the date of such judgment by the trial court. But in July 2013, the Supreme Court in the Lily Thomas versus Union of India case struck down this section. And now the disqualification shall take place from the date of conviction. Hence, statement second is incorrect. So the correct answer to this question would be option A, that is 1 only. And the correct answer to our UPSC PYQ is option A. The next practice question for today is based on Resilient Democracy's statement, which was recently in news. Now this is important under various bilateral and multilateral agreements between India and the world. In the year 2019, we found a question on General Data Protection Regulation. So let us solve our practice question, which states that Resilient Democracy's statement recently in news is associated with which among the following? The options are G20, European Union, BRICS or G7. The correct answer to this question is G7. So in the year 2022, G7 countries and its 5 partner countries including India signed Resilient Democracy's statement. So the basic objective of Resilient Democracy's statement was the free flow of information online and offline, that is, to protect the freedom of expression and ensure a free and independent media in these democratic countries. And for this purpose, the countries resolved to provide secure internet, increasing cyber resilience of digital infrastructure, countering hybrid threats, cooperating to counter information warfare, among others. The practice question was based on this particular article, which appeared on the page number 8 of Indian Express. The government has said that it does not subscribe to the rankings of WordPress Freedom Index and to the conclusions of Reporters Without Borders. Along with this, the minister said that the G7 countries and partner nations, including India, has adopted a Resilient Democracy's statement at the G7 summit in June 2022, which among other things discussed earlier is working towards equitable, inclusive and sustainable solutions to global challenges. So the correct answer to our practice question is option D, and the correct answer to our UPSC PYQ is option C. So the next practice question for today is based on this article, which appeared on the page number 12 of Indian Express. So as per this article, the central government has found around 9,000 applications for upgradation of schools under the PM Shri scheme or Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India scheme. UPSC has time and again asked questions regarding various government schemes. As in the year 2017, we found a question on Vidyanjali Yojana. So it was one of the schemes of government related to education sector. So our practice question states that with reference to the PM Shri scheme, consider the following statements. Statement 1. All schools under the scheme would showcase the components of new education policy of 2020. Now this is a correct statement as the PM Shri scheme aims to redevelop various schools in India to reflect the features of new education policy of 2020. Statement 2. Aim of the scheme is to provide 100% literacy rate across poor states. Now this is an incorrect statement as achieving 100% literacy rate across poor states is not the aim of PM Shri scheme. Statement 3. The scheme would focus on all government schools and small private schools. Now this is also an incorrect statement as the scheme only focuses on selected government schools and not private schools. Pradhan Mantri Schools for Rising India, PM Shri, is a centrally sponsored scheme that was launched in 2022 for 5 years with the cost of more than 20,000 crores. The aim of the scheme is to develop 14,500 government schools across Indian states and union territories. So you must remember that the scheme does not aim at all the government schools but only selected government schools which are being managed by central government, states, union territory or local bodies. So these schools would be transformed or redeveloped to reflect the components of National Education Policy 2020 to act as exemplary schools and offer mentorship to other schools in their vicinity. The focus of the scheme is to provide high quality education in an equitable, inclusive environment to take care of the learning needs of the children with diverse backgrounds. And such school would be equipped with modern infrastructure, including labs, smart classrooms, libraries, sports equipment, among others. So as the question asked, which of the statement given above are incorrect? So the correct answer would be option B, that is 2 and 3. And the correct answer to our UPSC PYQ is option A. So the final question for today is based on this particular article which appeared on the page number 17 of Indian Express. So as per this article, government is deciding to re-examine the plan of translocating a few Asiatic lions from Gir National Park, Gujarat to Kuno National Park in Madhya Pradesh. Also, National Tiger Conservation Authority has pointed out that the lion population in India has increased by 29% over the last 5 years. So for UPSC examination, you must have clear idea regarding various acts, laws, bodies related to prevention of wildlife, environment and biodiversity. In the year 2014, we found this particular question, which was regarding various authorities in India. So the practice question states that with respect to the National Tiger Conservation Authority, consider the following statements. Statement 1. It is a statutory body constituted under the Environmental Protection Act 1986 for tiger conservation. Now this is an incorrect statement as National Tiger Conservation Body is a statutory body which was constituted under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Statement 2. It is headed by the Prime Minister of India. Now this is an incorrect statement. This is because NTCA is headed by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Statement 3. Its objective is to provide statutory authority to Project Tiger. Now this is a correct statement. NTCA is a statutory body under the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. The important functions are to assist in population assessment of tigers, law enforcement, wildlife forensics, infrastructural development, smart patrolling, among others. Also, NTCA has launched M-Stripes. This is a software-based monitoring system across Indian tiger reserves. Now as the question asked, which of the statements given above is or are incorrect? So the correct answer would be option C, statement 1 and 2. And the correct answer to our UPSC PYQ is option B. Now this brings an end to today's session. Stay connected for more updates. Thank you.